What is going on, party people? Captain Zeus here, and I have a review for you guys. This is going to be over the recent release of the DCU movie Superman. Now, if you guys haven't seen the movie, spoiler warning up ahead. I won't be going into too much spoilers, but I will be talking about some components of the movie. So if you want to go in fresh, no spoils, you might want to not watch this. But if you want to know just a little bit, hey, stick around, find out what my thoughts are, and like and subscribe for more reviews just like this. And if you have seen the movie, let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the DCU Superman movie. Okay, so first things first, this movie was pretty dang good. I will just be flat honest with you guys. Now, do I think this movie was a 10 out of 10? No, I don't. Do I think this is on par with Man of Steel? Honestly, no. However, I will say the inspiration of the OG Superman movie with Christopher Reeves is prevalent. It's so obvious. It's like what Superman Returns wanted to be. That's what this movie was. What Superman Returns should have been, in a way, I suppose. I love Man of Steel, don't get me wrong. Henry Cavill, great Superman. In my honest preference, the best Superman. That movie was probably the best Superman movie. I did like Superman Returns. I did like the OG Superman movie, even Superman 2. But this Superman surprised me. I tried to go in with low expectations. I have done reactions to the trailer because I'm a big DC fan. I love DC. And I have high hopes for James Gunn and what he's doing with the DC universe. While on the topic of this being a good movie, there were some elements to it that I did not like. There was way too much making out with Superman and Lois. I'll be completely honest with you. It's kind of uncomfortable how much they were making out. I get it to an extent. You want the romance scenes to feel romantic. You want these scenes to feel special. There was just way too much of it, and it went on for way too long. That was probably like my biggest gripe. This movie was definitely geared towards a family-friendly audience. I put the air quotes because family-friendly movies don't usually have as much cursing as it does, let alone the making out. Other than that, it was a pretty good movie. Like, I'd probably take my siblings to go watch this and then just cover their eyes when, you know, Superman and Lois are making out for 5 minutes. There was a ton of CGI. This movie is definitely CGI heavy. However, it's not like it's Thor: Love and Thunder. The CGI is done very well, and yeah, there's moments where it's pretty noticeable, but when you're watching the movie overall, 99% of the time, you don't really notice the quality of the CGI differing. It's all pretty much the same. Now, a lot of people like to nitpick the trailers because what they can. You can slow down, go frame by frame, and try to nitpick it. You don't have that luxury when you're watching a movie. And so a lot of people's concerns about the CGI quality is unwarranted, if I'm being completely honest. This movie, although again CGI heavy, looked visually fantastic. Very colorful. There's a lot of comments about this being a comic booky movie, and this is true, and not in a negative way. First of all, if you're watching a comic book movie and you're calling it comic booky to be negative or degrading, something's literally wrong with you. If the movie is living up to what its source material is, it's doing its job. But the comic booky elements to this were definitely the characters. It definitely added a connected universe vibe to it. There's a lot of members of the Justice Gang, if you will, interacting with Superman, knowing his secret identity. You know, there's a lot of established villains in here. Lex Luthor, you know, him and Superman have been beefing for 3 years at this point. There's a lot of elements to this that make it seem like I'm reading an actual comic book just on the big screen. And that's honestly how I felt when I was watching this movie, is I was like, dude, this is literally like a 5-issue story put on the big screen. Not only just because of how the characters interacted, also a lot of the dialogue. Superman was very much comic book Superman here, with his Midwestern old school slang and dialogue. Very much the goody two shoes, the good boy, very much prevalent in how he was talking. I keep saying prevalent a lot in this. I don't know why, but I think the point's getting across. And I know I kind of went over the cons like just a little bit there, because really there weren't that many cons when I was watching this movie. Would I go see this again in theaters? Maybe. I'll be completely honest, maybe. The story was not hard to grasp. It was very much Superman versus Lex Luthor, although the trailer alluded to other elements to it that would make it seem like, oh, this is the big villain, this is the big villain, which is obviously the point to get you speculating. At its core, it's a classic Superman tale of Lex Luthor and Superman beefing. Now, we basically got Bizarro in this film, which is what everyone who was saying this was Ultraman, you guys are dumb. I'll be straight up with you guys. I knew from the get-go this was not Ultraman. Yes, they were calling him Ultraman, but everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is the crime syndicate Ultraman. No, not only does that not make sense whatsoever, James Gunn wouldn't do that. That is way too much stuff to add into an intro movie to the intro of the DC universe. So everyone that was saying it was the crime syndicate's Ultraman, you guys are dumb. I was 99% sure it was going to be Bizarro, and it was, because who else is going to have the exact same abilities as Superman? And honestly, the big dead giveaway was when they went to the Fortress of Solitude and they got it. That was the big dead giveaway there. And speaking of the Fortress of Solitude, I think that was one of the best elements of the movie is expansion on it and how Superman, his abilities are. Because the Fortress of Solitude was my big question was like, hey, how does this just not get any attention? It's because it goes underground. That makes sense. How does Superman just heal all of a sudden? Because if he's just healing from the sun, then wouldn't he just never get injured? Well, the way they do it in the show, in the movie, shows that you need a high dosage of it to heal. And I do like that they are alluding to the fact that the Justice League will be formed soon. You already have the Hall of Justice made. Green Lantern Guy Gardner's there. Hawkgirl's there. Mr. Terrific, who is probably my favorite character in that movie. I'll be straight up with you. My favorite character in the movie. And also Jimmy. Jimmy was also freaking hilarious. Those two are probably like my favorite characters in the whole movie. Like, there was a lot of seeds being planted in this movie. It was great. I loved it. I do want to say more, but at the same time, I don't want to ramble. I don't want to tell you everything about the movie because I want you guys to go see it for yourself. And I apologize if this review is lengthy as is. I know a lot of people's attention spans are short. I know a lot of you guys were like, oh my gosh, it's so obvious, but I'm just kind of trying to word my thought because I just got done watching the movie. It's like almost 1 in the morning right now at the time of me recording this. It's a good movie. I think everybody should watch it, whether you're a Superman fan, a DC fan, a Marvel fan. I think you should watch it because I think you will enjoy the comedy. I think you will enjoy the message, which, by the way, the message is not political at all. It's not what Sean Gunn was alluding to or what anyone was saying in the interviews. Like, it is not a political message. Yeah, Superman's an alien refugee, but that's the extent of it. Like, sure, there's politics brought up, but it's never in the sense of like real world politics. And that's something I also liked, is that we weren't bringing in real world politics to that extent. And I think this is a great start for the DC universe. This is a great start. It was short. It was 2 hours and change. There are 2 end credit scenes. Nothing really major is put there. They're kind of just like, you know how like in anime, there's like a bonus chibi section at the end of it that doesn't really tell you much about the story, but it is adding more context. It's kind of the same deal here because you get to see a little bit more with like certain characters. But if I had to rate the movie, I'd probably give this movie an 8 out of 10, maybe like a 7.8, 7.9, just because I felt like it could have been more. It could have been more. It could have been longer. Could have had a lot more to it, but I'm satisfied with what I got. But hey, that's just my thoughts on the movie. What did you guys think? Please let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the DCU Superman movie by James Gunn. I'm Captain Zeus, and I will catch you guys later. See ya.